So let's talk about the half guard with the knee shield for a moment. Your main job here, first and foremost, is to keep your opponent at shin distance, at space, right? You want to keep them away. I use my top knee shield to block their pec. My bottom knee shield also blocks their hip, and my hands are mainly going to be blocking this arm from trying to grab my collar or grabbing my head, okay? With my top knee shield, I don't want it to go too low so that he can start burying my legs under his body. This is going to be really bad for me. But I also don't want it to go too wide where he can start to sneak past inside of my hips. Okay? I want it to be dynamic, and I want it to follow him and be where it needs to be to just stop him from getting close. My bottom knee is equally as important. A lot of people forget about the bottom knee shield down here. This leg never sinks inside unless you have an opportunity to start to get underneath and start to improve your position, okay? You don't want it to just rest inside, because if you lose this bottom knee shield, he can start to just walk you flat, and then the top knee shield is also gonna melt out of the way, okay? So I just want my bottom knee shield to stay right where his patch is right here. It's just blocking this spot, okay? So now with my hands, I can just reinforce with my knee under my elbow and just kind of help this leg exist a little bit easier and not get smashed down so easily. And my bottom hand right here is just gonna block the bicep, okay? So this is how you're gonna maintain this position. You're just thinking about space at first. As your opponent starts to lean in and start to put pressure into you, we've talked about this idea before where the top person doesn't want to lean into a little bit of control that you have, okay? So I have all of my limbs working with me, so I have options here. As my opponent leans into me, I'm gonna work with my top knee shield, and I'm gonna straighten my leg and kick my leg above my head to start to redirect his energy above me, like this. My arm that's framing, come back for a second, is gonna swim inside, and it's gonna look for this little hole right here, and I'm gonna get a nice deep underhook, okay? So when you feel your opponent leaning in and you're kind of framing, relax your body and redirect him up with this top knee shield and swim your hand inside like this. Here. Once you get this underhook, the way that you're working with this, what this underhook's job is solely, is to make sure his weight stays above your head and doesn't settle back down. See? Look how my head is exposed now. He's crushed my underhook, and he's probably gonna hug my head and start to smash me in this position. This is impossible for him if I keep his weight above my head. So I'm doing like a shrug with my shoulder. I can grab the material on his back, but I don't relax my elbow or shoulder. I keep pushing into his armpit and pushing him up. If Coach Sterner comes out for a second here, it looks like this. I can grab wherever I want, but I'm always pushing him forward with this. Very important, okay? Once I get that underhook, I'm hiding my head, I'm making sure he doesn't cross face me. I'm just gonna switch my hooks, okay? So check this out. Rotate, rotate. I wanna take advantage of this underhook by getting to my knees, but I can't do it with my bottom leg still in the half guard, okay? It's impossible. I'm not gonna be able to get up. So what I'm gonna do is start to extend his leg away and pick his hook or his heel right here with my top hook instead. So watch again right here. I'm just switching for this leg. And I want his ankle to be bitten behind my knee like this, okay? So I don't want it to be really low. I wanna grab really high on his ankle, and I'm kinda doing like a little calf squeeze on him like this, okay? Once I have that hook switched, I'm gonna straighten my bottom leg, and I'm gonna let his knee fall to the mat. So I'm going like this. And now I lock my legs, and now I'm pulling his heel to me, and I'm driving my hips forward. Let's rotate a little bit. So once I switch the hook here, straighten my leg, pull his heel to me, drive my hips forward. Now with this hand, I like to underhook his other leg just to make sure he doesn't backstep me. Because if I'm in this position and I don't have this leg, he can start to backstep me and change the position, okay? So I underhook this leg, and I just start to drive my hips forward in this position. And now when I'm ready to come up, I keep this clamp, but I work with this bottom leg, look. And now when I come up, I can start to attack the back immediately. Rotate, please. I can start to pass my knee in front, attack the back, or what I like to do if my opponent starts to whizzer as I come up, right here, I like to switch to the knee. Start to pull his knee into me and drive him flat to his side. Okay, really simple sweep. Rotate a little bit. The main things you need to take away from this sweep. Top knee shield needs to be dynamic, okay? You can't relax it ever. It's gotta follow this pec wherever it goes, okay? Never let them hug your head or grab your collar or hug your shoulder in any way, okay? So no matter what you're doing, say you're setting up a choke, if they grab your collar, you need to stop what you're doing and get rid of this and block it, okay? Double up on it, break the grip, okay? And my bottom knee shield is always active. If I feel him starting to step over my knee shield, I'm gonna hip escape a little bit and bring it back out, okay? And now when I'm doing my entry, he's leaning in, I'm gonna frame against him, and then I'm gonna relax and start to bring him above my head, okay? It's like a little wave motion. I feel the pressure, I'm resisting, and then I relax and bring my knees to my chest and start to redirect him above, and then I get my underhook, okay? Switching my hooks, dropping my bottom leg, letting his knee go to the floor, underhooking, and driving my hips forward. If you don't drive your hips forward in this position, if you just keep your hips far away, he's gonna pick his knee up and he's gonna bring it across your body, like this. And you're gonna end up in this quarter mount, quarter guard type position, okay? So it's really important that you force his knee to stay on this side and you drive your hips forward. And now I'm just working with my bottom leg to start to get up. If he doesn't have the whizzer, I'm going straight to the back. If he does have the whizzer, I'm switching to the far knee, I'm pulling it in, and I'm driving him forward to his side to start working a side smash or any kind of guard pass I like to do, okay? So this is just a basic understanding of like working with the underhook from the knee shield. I feel like everybody should know this system regardless of your style because the underhook concepts work in more than just the half guard. Keeping their weight above your head is so important. Whenever you get sprawled on in a shot and you start to reach for a single leg or you're just underhooking and they're putting a lot of weight on you, you're gonna need to have that instinct of keeping their weight above your head and know how to work with switching the hooks so you can come out of that position successful, okay?